watching Mid-Michigan Now.
You hear a lot about the achievement gap, the disparity between rich schools and poor schools, white schools and minority schools, and the impact that has on education opportunities and your child's future. Education experts will tell you the pandemic has exposed that gap, and in many ways, it's making it bigger. Mid-Michigan Now's Kristen Lowe explains.
According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, the average Black or Hispanic student is roughly 2 years behind the average white student. Low-income students are continuously underrepresented among the country's top-performing students. Couple that with a pandemic that has disproportionately affected minorities, and the road to equity may be longer than ever.
Candy Brock has 3 kids at Flint Community Schools. Remote learning since last year in their hotel room because their home is being treated for lead paint, Candy does her best to monitor their progress.
Once I get out of work, if they're awake, I'll try to pop in and talk to them.
Between working up to 50 hours a week at Walmart and teaching 3 kids, it's a lot.
I would just get my phone out. We have Student View. I can check their grades. I can check what assignments they're missing.
Candy says while her daughter has managed to maintain her grades, her son went from an A/B student to getting C's and D's.
I put a lot of trust in them that they're actually going to school and doing the work, because I can't be everywhere.
It's a problem working parents across the country are facing. But for kids in Flint, where nearly 93% of students are economically disadvantaged, the odds are stacked even higher. Data from consulting firm McKinsey & Company shows the average white student in America started off this school year 1 to 3 months behind in math. Students of color were 3 to 5 months behind. While it remains to be seen just how much learning loss there will be at the end of all of this, McKinsey & Company estimates that white students could be 4 to 8 months behind, but students of color may lose up to 1 year of knowledge. The reason, they say, Black and Hispanic students are more likely to remain remote and are less likely to have things like devices, internet access, and live contact with teachers. In August, more than 20% of Flint students weren't attending online class at all, so school leaders went door to door looking for them.
They tell us their barriers, and we try to write down their barriers and come back and try to solve those problems for them.
I've heard of students, they don't have access to the internet at home, they're going to the local coffee shop or somewhere else where there's free Wi-Fi access.
Frank Berger is a teacher at CARMAN-AINSWORTH High School.
Do you feel like you've seen more students getting worse grades or failing?
I would say absolutely. Many of these students, they have to help their families out at home. And we've seen students who, during remote learning, had to go to work during the school day at a job.
An income is one of the reasons Candy Brock is choosing to keep her kids virtual for now. If she gets sick, she doesn't get paid. As hard as virtual learning is on her kids, she says it's a risk she just can't take.
I can't be everywhere. If I could multiply myself, that'd be wonderful, but I can't.
Flint Community Schools was set to return to in-person learning on Monday, but last week they decided to delay it. Brock says as much as she doesn't love virtual learning, she won't send her kids back to school in person until there's been 30 days with no outbreaks there. In the studio, Kristen Lowe, Mid-Michigan Now.
We reached out to several high schools across Mid-Michigan, including Flint Southwestern and Fenton, looking for their failure in attendance rate last year compared to this year. We have heard from most of them, and the others said the information was not available at this time.
Now, your